Hello, this is Igoro, host of the Igoro Show, and you are listening to the Steve and Crypto Show. So keep your ears open and your mouth shut.
Hey, welcome to the Steve and Crypto Show, presented by thestevestrout.com. I'm Steve.
I'm Crypto Zoo. We're all in the mix for episode 46. I'm going to keep these rhymes going as long as I can.
He will. He's not lying. He's going to do it. He's going for it. Just like keep the fart jokes going, maybe.
Yeah, look at that. 30 seconds in, and we're already talking about farts.
Yep, got the stupid rhyme and the fart joke in, so we're good. That's our show. Thanks for listening. No.
Yeah, let's get that shit out the way, literally.
But hey, we've been mentioning the last month or so that our show turned 1 year old right at the end of August, so we've been kind of sort of celebrating it in a way. And it's going to culminate with this episode where we're going to talk a little bit about the past year and a couple of our highlights and stuff. But before we get into that, we do want to thank you guys for being with us for the past year. And hopefully you stick with us for the next 100 years. That's our goal. We're going to go 100 years. I'm going to be 180 years old when we retire from this show. Still not making money off it. But if you want to help us make money to help improve the show and keep the shows going and upgrade and all that good stuff that we like to do for you guys, visit our Buy Me a Coffee page, buymeacoffee.com/SteveCrypto. Anything else you want to add to the Buy Me a Coffee thing?
Yeah, I just was thinking about all of our lovely contributors so far. You know, I'm thankful for them, each and every one of you. We really appreciate it because all of your contributions just help to making our show sound better for you guys, helps improve our gear. It helps us just keep everything rolling, keeps the Steve and Crypto train rolling. So we really, really thank you guys. We love you. Thank you for your continued support.
And someday down the road, if we start doing good enough, we'll hire professional writers to write us good fart jokes. So we can step up our fart joke game, you know?
Yeah,
I'm running out.
Right now, you just get the shitty ones, pun intended.
Oh, yikes. But last episode, what did we talk about last week?
Last week, we spoke with Maria Colette Sundin about a film called Lifeless, which was actually a short film called Lifeless, which was actually filmed right here in Port Townsend, Washington. I actually kind of bumped into her and her crew on the road when I was delivering. And so we just, I gave them our info and we got everything set up and had a great time talking with her, learning about, what it takes to make a film. And just because it's a short film, doesn't take away from the fact that it still takes a lot of work.
Yeah, it's legitimate production.
Yeah. I mean, it really is a huge project. Even for a 10-minute short film, a lot goes into it.
Check out the episode.
Yeah.
Episode 45. Listen to it. She talks a lot about how much of herself she actually puts into the project. So check it out. It's pretty interesting. Yeah. Like I was interested in just, I'd ask a question to her and she'd just go off telling us about it. And I would get so caught up listening that I was like losing I have like notes in front of me when we're working. And I was kind of like losing my place because I was like so interested in it. Like, oh, this is awesome. Just, you know what I mean? It's like, because I'm somebody that likes watching documentaries and stuff. So I felt like I was sitting there watching a documentary, hearing the story. And it's cool, man. And I'm excited for the movie.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching it. We will definitely let all of you guys know when it is available to watch. They're still kind of figuring out how they're going to release it and everything. So But once it's available, we'll let you know.
Yes. Another thing we talked about last week, you being a huge Evil Dead fan, I dig it, but you're a big fan. We talked about Evil Dead and coming up on its 40th anniversary.
Yeah.
We didn't mention that they are putting it in theaters on October 7th with a special intro from Bruce Campbell. So we might want to figure add that in there. So if you guys begin in October, go check out Evil Dead on the big screen, because I'm sure a lot of you folks didn't get to see it on the big screen. I feel like more people caught on to the movie through VHS.
Yeah.
Later on.
Yep. I know I caught it at the video store, and the only one that I even had a chance to see in theaters was the remake, which is actually one of my favorite horror remakes of all time.
It was pretty good. It was a good remake.
I really love that one.
I dug it.
And it was a fun one to watch in the theater too, because it was packed. It was like one of those early showings, like the night before the release, and it was just, you could tell it was an Evil Dead crowd, a crowd that came for the blood.
Oh, yeah.
So, and on the subject of Evil Dead, actually, for anyone that is in the Seattle area or nearby, you can go check out the Evil Dead 2 Escape Room. Now, I'm not sure about current availability, but I know that it has been there for quite a while now, and you can look it up online. I've looked at pictures. You can find videos on YouTube of people going through. I think even people from Evening Magazine, like one of the local news shows, went through this escape room and checked it out. I mean, it looks fun. The cool, photos that I've seen look really neat. I want to check it out someday.
Yeah. Honestly, it's like such a popular franchise. There's probably other cities have a similar theme thing. So just look for cool stuff like that. Go out. It's a good way to celebrate the franchise's anniversary. Go see the movie in theaters. Go find an escape room.
Yep.
I know at one point they were even doing like a musical.
Yeah.
So I find something cool to do. Celebrate it, or even watch the fucking Bruce Campbell holiday movie that's coming out on Hallmark Channel or something. Just somehow celebrate the Evil Dead. 40 years. It's almost as old as me. But yeah, that's all fun, exciting stuff. I mean, we have some sad news to report. I guess there's going to be a prequel to Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead movie releasing.
Hulk sad.
This year, yeah.
Hulk very sad.
And that's a bummer. And even to add to that, to the pile of stuff I don't give a shit about, Machine Gun Kelly, the shitty rapper, or whatever he is he a rapper, or is he, what do we call him?
I don't know.
What do we call that guy? Apparently he's getting into comics. He's getting into comics, and he's putting out a horror comic. So I don't know, like they'll let anybody fucking make art nowadays. So I want all you creative people to keep making good stuff. So we don't have to be subjected to crap like Machine Gun Kelly and fucking Army of the Dead.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say he's a musician of sorts. We have good musicians. They're called Slipknot.
Oh boy, their little rivalry this past week is there was a big. I think the only bigger news on the entertainment news was probably the Elvira announcing that, not announcing, but it getting out that she'd been in a relationship with a woman, which
who
the fuck cares? Like, I mean, I care, I mean? I care. I'm a huge Elvira fan. Like, tonight, we're recording on Saturday, is the Elvira special on Shudder. Like, I care, but it's just like, she's just she's a person and it's her life. It's like, whatever. Why does it need to be news?
And it doesn't need to be news. And, luckily people are more supportive of that kind of thing now in 2021. I mean, maybe if she would have announced this 15 years ago, it would have been maybe more of a big deal, I guess.
Yeah.
maybe not quite as common, but I mean,
what though?
in
I hope
2021 it shouldn't be even something to mention.
Even then, though, it could have been 30 years ago. It's just, it's her life. It's who she is. Just
even then, it shouldn't have been.
Why does it have to be a headline thing? But if anything, I hope it fucking, by her name being all the headlines like that, I hope it sells a shitload of books for her.
Yep, and hopefully
it keeps her career going for another 30 years, and she's fucking Elvira till she's 100, and she's doing her thing and going to conventions with her fucking wearing her Elvira costume and her boobies down to her waist. I don't care. She's Elvira.
Well, she's definitely out there right now. I mean, her very special is going to be on tonight.
It airs tonight on Shudder. Like I said, we're recording Saturday. The episode will come out. We've been putting them out Tuesday night, so you guys are probably listening Wednesday or something.
By the time you listen to this, it'll already be out. So if you haven't watched it over the weekend, you can go check it out. Go to Shudder for that one.
Go to Shudder. Another thing on Shudder is Creepshow just launched. Have you watched the first episode of season 3 yet?
That I'm planning to watch it tonight.
Yeah. All right. You're gonna watch it while Elvira's on or after?
It'll.
Sorry, I put you on the spot. I know you ain't gonna watch Elvira, you son of a bitch. But anyway, it was a pretty cool episode, man. It was a good episode.
Well, I'll probably watch. Well, I might watch Elvira stuff later. When I get to it. But when everything quiets down in the house tonight, I'll be watching Creepshow first. That's where my heart is at this point. As far as new horror content, Creepshow is the number one thing I'm after right now.
Yeah. Well, I just finished watching that first episode. It was good. A lot of familiar faces. I love how they're bringing all these known performers that are taking part in this and being involved.
Yeah, Justin Long was in the finale of last season, I believe.
He was in that.
That was a really good episode.
Yeah, they had Ethan Embry in this one. I don't know if you remember him. He was in a lot of like the 90s, like Can't Hardly Wait, like those kind of like teen comedy drama movies. But he was in this and he played as I don't know if Trumper is the term to use, but he played as one of those like kind of as a redneck kind of a just a fucking redneck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That I don't want to give away the episode, but of course shit happens and the bad guy always gets what he deserves on Creepshow.
We can guess where that is heading.
Bad redneck guy. What's going to happen to him? I mean, it's a lot of predictable stuff, but it's really fun.
Yeah,
the way they put it together on the show. But
what's really not predictable, and it's something that puts out new content every week. You don't know what they're going to put out, what they're going to throw your way. It's Fright Rags.
Good point. And since we are talking about Fright Rags and Creepshow season 3 just launching, they are releasing an officially licensed Creepshow season 3 collection, including a red and black tie-dye shirt and 2 other creepy designs from Jeffrey Blaseman, who's done a lot of stuff for them for Fright Rags, and Zachary Jackson. You can head over to Fright Rags on social media, particularly Instagram is a good spot if you want to see pictures and get a little preview of what they're going to be releasing, which is coming out Wednesday, September 29th at 10 a.m. Eastern. So get in there, get an order in for that new Creepshow season 3 Fright Rags merch, and it's going to be good.
Man, I can always count on Fright Rags to just come and take my money for some cool merch. Fright Rags has been bringing you the best in horror apparel and accessories since 2003, offering a wide range of products for your favorite creature features, slasher flicks, and cult classics.
Collections include and are not limited to John Carpenter's Halloween, Universal Monsters, Night of the Living Dead, Creepshow, of course, Twin Peaks, Evil Dead, and so many more.
all officially licensed and available soon or right now at fright-rags.com. Steve and Crypto Show listeners get 10% off when they use the code Crypto10. Once again, that's Crypto10 at checkout.
So do it. Head over to fright-rags.com. Use the code Crypto10 and get you a deal on some good stuff.
So I got a little tidbit of news here. It's kind of early, but they've released it, so I might as well bring it up. If you haven't been living in a green sewer pipe for the last few months, then you might know that everyone's favorite plumber, Mario, is coming out for a brand new movie. He's finally going to be starring in like his own fully animated film. This is not a sequel to the movie from the 90s, a live action flick. This is all animated. I think they're kind of taking some cues from Sonic in a way, and they noticed that like just taking us to that world again and you know, what is it, the beaches that I can't remember the level names, you know, but like some of the levels that are in Sonic, and just seeing that is exciting, and it takes you back to being a kid again. And there's going to be plenty of kids that are going to want to see this Mario flick, but they're going to have a lot of adults that are going to go too. They're going to sell so much merch and so many tickets from adults wanting to check this out. So
it is going to be a fully animated movie.
It's not fully animated. Like,
yeah. It's not going to be like live action.
No.
Like,
no. But what I mean, like, they're just taking cues from Sonic, because I think they noticed how successful it was, how much money it made, and you know that they took the time to do it right. They made Sonic look right, the way he should be. Because the first pictures, anybody listening, if you caught the early photos of Sonic, he looked like shit.
Oh yeah, people bitched about it, and then they changed it.
Yeah, they pulled it back. They made some changes, and they made him look right. He looked great, you know, once they finally released it. So I think that they're going to take their time with this one and really make it look as it should. You know, Nintendo's fully backing it. I mean, it looks like they're going to put some heart into it. They're going to take a while, because at this point, we're not expected to get it until December 21st of 2022. Yeah. And so the plot, as most of you probably know where it's going, a plumber named Mario travels through an underground labyrinth with his brother Luigi, trying to save a captured princess. And they've even given us the casting, or most of it. So we have Chris Pratt playing Mario, his brother Charlie Day as Luigi, which I'm pretty excited for. He has a voice for animation. He was in Monsters University too. Not one of the main characters, but you could hear him in there, and you know his voice is just perfect for cartoon characters.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around Chris Pratt, though.
I know that one's a little weird. I like Chris Pratt very much, but
yeah, let's just hope for a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, we'll see where that goes. And then we have Anya Taylor-Joy as Princess Peach. The main project that I remember her from was the Inhumans movie, I think. Or no, I'm sorry, not Inhumans. New Mutants. That's the one. She was in the New Mutants film.
That wasn't very good.
Yeah, I wasn't going to talk about it. I was just saying she was
No. That's it. That's end of the conversation. It wasn't good. Boom.
Yeah.
Back to Mario.
So the last three that I'm going to mention, I love this guy. Keegan-Michael Key as the voice of Toad.
Okay.
Again, another guy that has a voice for cartoons and animation. We have Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, which I think that'll work.
I can see it.
I can see it working. And then finally, the voice of Bowser is one of my favorite actors of all time, Jack Black.
As Bowser?
Yes. Yep.
Weird.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're gonna try to sell this movie based on the star-studded, cast.
Yep. Kind of like they did with the Lego movie when they had, fair amount of people in there.
When does that come out?
It's estimated for December 21st of next year.
December 21st next year. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a ways away, but we still have some cool stuff coming at us very soon, especially on or around October 15th. There's a ton of shit coming, including the Chucky series. We're in sci-fi, the Day of the Dead series, the homage to the Romero film from the 80s. That's going to be on, I believe that's on Sci-Fi too, maybe. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, somebody. They just announced that the I Know What You Did Last Summer series is coming right around that time. And of course, most important is Halloween Kills, which is going to be coming to theaters and streaming. So there's a lot of cool stuff coming. Yeah, man, a lot of cool stuff coming this year.
Yeah.
But there's also been a lot of cool stuff over the last year, particularly our show. Something that we're both really proud of. And that's why we brought you all here today to talk about some of our favorite moments. And
we've talked to a fair amount of people and discussed a lot of different things in the last year and in the last 45 episodes, and we hope that you've been chugging along with us and listening, ep to ep. But if not, then here's a good jumping point for you. Here's a good way to just come in right here, make this your episode 1. We will get you up to date and current, and
as best as we can.
And you might get a little clip out of here for one episode that sounds interesting to you. You can go find that one, and we hope that you find another episode or two that you enjoy in your search. So
if you have enjoyed the Steve and Crypto Show half as much as we've enjoyed making it, then you guys had a pretty good time with us over the past year. So Crypto, what's your favorite moment? What's the most exciting thing for you over the past year on the show? You give me a couple things. Give me two or three of your favorite, without discounting anybody else. Like, every guest we've had has been awesome.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Every little promo segment we've featured on here has been great. Lots of cool projects. Love to people like Fright Rags and Fairflix and other people who have wanted us to share their products on here. So what do you think?
Yeah. All right. Well, I got a few. One that comes to mind is someone that I actually listen to weekly myself, and I look forward to listening to their show. The name of the show is the Night of the Horror File podcast, and so I'm talking about Lee Evans. He was on a while back, just for a little promo thing. And if you haven't watched it, if you haven't listened to it yet, Lee and his wife, they basically, like, he shows horror movies to his wife. He'll play something for her she's never seen before, and then they'll discuss it afterwards. And he just lays on the facts that, just all these little tidbits of knowledge that make me question myself as a horror fan quite often. I'm like, fuck, how did I not know that? So that's one right there.
They know their shit. I love how, Lee and Brittany are both really cool people, good people. They're supportive of us too. Lee's one of those people that like inspires what I do. You know what I mean? Like, I'm dumb. I don't know shit. I don't claim to know shit. You know what I mean? I'm not going to try to pretend like I do. But, like, this dude knows his shit. but he's
Yeah.
not like a know-it-all about it. You know, the people
No,
that know stuff and they're like, oh, I'm better than you because I fucking know everything. No, he's a fucking goofball just like us.
oh
But
yeah,
he
he
just
doesn't come off cocky whatsoever, you know, and the vibe that you get is, hey, I'm a horror fan, I'm passionate about this stuff, and I want to share it with you.
and
You
he
know,
does
and
his homework with his episodes.
yep, yes, he
And
sure does.
but he's funny. That's my thing. He's funny.
Yeah,
I
and
learned stuff and I laughed. That's what more can you ask for?
chances are, if you're listening to his show, you're probably a horror fan. Imagine, you know, I imagine so. And so, why wouldn't you want to know more about these films that you're into?
Thing is, you could enjoy his show even if you're not a horror fan. If you're just a fan
Oh, yeah.
of movies, just film in general, you can listen to them and I'm liking how we're seeing. I love their dynamic when he, you know what I mean? He gets a little goofy and she's there to like, you know, grow the fuck up, you know, like stuff like that. Like, you know, we run a promo clip, you know, from them and it's funny, but it's like their show in like a nutshell.
Yeah, that promo clip that was aired on the last episode.
Yeah.
Honestly,
She's like,
I don't
shut
know
up.
if you told me about that one. You might have surprised me with that. I don't remember you saying that you got it. So it was fun to hear it. It was cool when I actually listened back and heard that in there. So what about you? What do you got?
Well,
what's the favorite?
Obviously, just getting the show started was a big thing for me. Being a not much of a talker myself, I've always been involved with, I guess you could say, entertainment, sort of in a way. Like when I first started doing like online stuff, it was working with a wrestling site, you know, like interviewing wrestlers. Like I've interviewed like some legends and like CM Punk, like early, you know, way back in the indie days and stuff like that. But it was always, you know, through emails and stuff, contact. And so I was never really a vocal person. And then it grew into, you know, the blog with all the nerdy stuff and covering conventions and being able to talk more and more with people to a point where I started doing interviews on there. And it all just like it like snowballed into this. And now it's like people are like, this dude should shut up. From somebody. And even right when we first started, I was like terrified. I was like, oh my God, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. People are going to hate me and this and that. They probably still do, and I still don't know what I'm doing. But it like opened up something in me that like I went from being scared to like passionate about it.
Yeah.
And that's biggest thing with this show for me over the year. The growth, the personal growth is the biggest thing that came out of this for me. There's other stuff though. We'll talk about it.
That's a pretty good point though. Yeah. I can relate to that. And like, I'm kind of introverted as well. And what I like to say is, you know, since I'm a big Kevin Smith fan, I like to look at it this way. Depending on who I'm around and depending on the time of day, you will get Silent Bob or you'll get Kevin Smith. So if I'm not entirely comfortable or maybe not having a great day, you'll get Silent Bob. Right. If I don't know you that well, you might get Silent Bob.
Yeah.
But if like Steve and I here being friends for as long as we have, you get Kevin Smith. I'll talk your ear off.
Yeah.
So
we're kind of on the borderline between Kevin Smith and Jay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some of the bullshit nonsense we talk about is
a good mix of the two.
Very right. Jay.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. You know, that'll be fitting if we actually get him on the show one day. We'll see if that happens.
Definitely, you know, like his stuff, his podcast, his movies, all that stuff is definitely a big influence on, I know, you and me and wanting to do stuff like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because honestly, I mean, I listen to their stuff on the road all the time. And for years now, I keep hearing them say in every episode, like, you know, all you need is a laptop and a mic you can do this. Like, if we can do it, you can do it. And that's exactly what we said to you guys listening in our ad for Anchor. It's like, if guys like
we
us
should update that soon.
Yeah.
Before we knew how to record anything, but we'll get to it.
That was early on, but what I'm saying is, like, back then we were even saying, like, if we can do it, you can do it, guys like us. And that's where I kind of got it from, honestly, was hearing an average guy like Kevin be like, we can do this, so can you, like, get out there and say what you want, like, here's a platform, anybody can do it, it's free in a way, so I mean, why not? And we finally broke down and did it, and I think it's a little relieving for both of us to have this nice platform to speak on and to be able to get a little bit more comfortable with talking with new people. I know it even helps me with my line of work, with having to go into a place and try to sell beer to people I've never met before.
More. And that's another thing. You mentioned meeting people. Like, we've met some cool fucking people through this.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always been good at networking with people, but we've really became friends with people. Like you mentioned, like Lee and Brittany from Night of Horrorfile. They're people I consider friends now.
Yeah.
Just because we started doing this. And
Igoro.
Like, there's a horror host based out of Spokane, Washington. A lot of people really like him. He's good. He's funny. He's the person who portrays him, Mark, who he actually wants to come on and chat soon, which is cool. He's a great guy to talk about monster shit and stuff. Not monster shit, but monster stuff. Like big old stinky piles of monster shit. But
how big of piles do you think the werewolf really
the wolf
pushes
man,
out
big,
at the time?
Big old dookies. But probably not that big, because you see, like, his victim usually just like a throat torn out or something. Like, that's not that much food to be pooping out.
But do you think, like, when he can't find someone to eat, he's just snacking on like pastries and all kinds of good food in London?
No, he probably goes to he's in London. He eats fish and chips or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But but yeah, Mark Igoro is a good dude. We got really good friends with, to the point that I help him run his social media. Twitter, Instagram. So you guys should follow him. Follow the Igoro Show on Twitter and social media. You'll dig his show. He runs it on YouTube. When he's creating the show, like, there's a little lull in production right now because he has some family stuff, because he is kind of human, I think. I guess Igoro was human at one point, and now he's...
Vampires have families too.
I don't think he's a vampire. He's more like a Jekyll and Hyde kind of monster or something. But
okay, I should say monsters have families. I'm sorry, monsters have families too.
Like the monsters, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's on YouTube. They run his show on the Monster Channel, which is a really cool. It's a streaming channel, which you can either stream online or through, if you have a Roku device, they have an app on there when it's just like 24/7 freaking monster movies, like sci-fi. There's even segments where they run like old kung fu movies, and most of them are hosted by like a horror host or something. It's pretty cool. It's fun. And that's Igoro. Other people I've gotten friends with, Dr. Gangrene's a good guy. It's allowed us to connect with people like Darcy from Joe Bob's Last Drive-In, and it's just cool, man. This show's just opened doors and opened our minds and opened our something inside of us to give us a little bit of made my balls bigger.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah. And we kind of thought that, like, with both of us having some backgrounds in entertainment fields, that maybe that would help us to bring some interesting people onto the show.
Yeah.
For you guys to hear what they're all about and what they do. Even before doing this show, we already had a handful of people that we knew that we could talk to, or that we could at least say, hey, we're doing this now. Maybe you'd like to come on and talk with us. And most of them were open to it. Most of them said yes. one of them is someone who honestly does not do many interviews and has not been on a single podcast that I could find, other than ours. And that is Underrated, who used to be in a group called Potluck out of Humboldt County. They were signed to Suburban Noise Records for a while, and now he's doing his own thing. He's been solo for quite a while now, and he actually recently released a free mixtape of sorts, you could say. I mean, well, no, it's not a mixtape, but it's like an EP. It's called Room to Grow, and I know you can find it on YouTube. It's a quick listen, but it's really well put together. And if you want to hear more about him, you can find the episode that we did, a while back. I chatted with him about a lot of stuff in the music industry and just, what he's doing now. So that's a fun one. I actually have seen, before they split up, I had seen Potluck more than any artist. I've seen them in concert probably 8-9 times, met them at each show, knew the guys on a first name basis, and ended up doing a show or two with them. And one of them was here in Port Townsend with Devin the Dude. Right. So I just figured, at this point, knowing them as knowing Underrated as long as I have, maybe I could reach out and see if he was into it, and he agreed. And so I'm glad that we were able to get that one under our belt. We try to mix it up and not just have horror related content on here. We try to talk to musicians and comic book artists and all sorts of creative people. So that episode was definitely a favorite of mine.
Yeah. I don't really want to say I have a favorite. I know what you're saying, though, but I don't want to say I have a favorite, but there's a lot of guests and moments that really stand out. Like for me, last year's Halloween episode, we had Russ Striner, who was Johnny from the original Night of the Living Dead, which is, as I've said, I probably annoyed you guys reminding you is that Night of the Living Dead is my favorite horror movie ever. Crypto's over here nodding like, yeah, you need to shut up about it. We're fucking tired of hearing it. But it's a classic, man. And he's the guy that delivered one of the most iconic lines in horror
They're
movies.
Coming to get you, Barbara.
That line. He came on our Halloween episode and told us a little bit about, stuff, talk about the movie and stuff. And he threw in a little, he said the line in the conversation, which was like, holy crap. But then he ended the thing when he threw in, they're coming to get you, Steve. And it was just like, it was fanboy moments, and it was just kind of, I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to get emotional, but thank you. But yeah, man, it was cool. That was one of the big highlights. Cool stuff, man. Like, we hope we have a lot more cool stuff like that over time. What else? Well, we're just kind of, we were going to make a list and like compare it and make notes and stuff. We're like, let's just have a casual conversation about this. And think of the year. What it meant to us.
We can do it this way. It's all good. I don't think the listeners mind.
No, I think it's good. The Women in Horror episode was cool.
Yeah,
that was really a good one. We had some cool guests on there. Our mutual friend Megan came on and kind of helped me sort of intro the show, which was cool. Yeah. Which I want her to come back and talk more soon, because she's a fucking. One, she's a cool people. She's like fam, but she's like a fucking amazing artist that I think a lot of our listeners, horror fans and stuff, should know, because she's like just pumping out all kinds of fucking cool paintings, and she does like little kind of, I guess it would be like taxidermy or oddity kind of stuff, and it's really fucking cool. Her name is Megan Richards. She's on social media. I'm sure you could just search for her name, and she'll pop up and check out her art. I'm a fan. She's a good friend. That was cool having her on. She should come back.
Yeah.
Speaking of friends, we did. That was pretty cool that we did the that little contest on Buy Me a Coffee for the contributors, and we put their names in a drawing and picked winners, and we decided that people were so into it that we picked two. So we got those guys. Josh and Joe are going to come on here soon. I was actually talking with Joe today, like, let's get you booked on here soon. He actually I guess he works for the Mariners, so he gets kind of busy till the season's over. So we'll probably have him. He was our main grand prize winner. He's going to get a cool prize, which I'm sure he'll tell you guys about. But thinking in like November. And Josh is a good dude. He's always been supportive and constantly out there sharing the show and just showing us love on social media, which it's easy. We appreciate you guys doing that. So
yeah,
listening,
you really
share,
don't
retweet.
have to. So we appreciate those that do.
Yeah, and it helps. It definitely helps. Coming in like, we run basically on no budget. Like, any money that comes in goes right back into the show.
Yep.
All you guys retweeting and sharing and mentioning and posting in groups and stuff, it really matters. We see it and we see you, and we appreciate you guys.
Yeah. And for anybody out there that's listening that is creative in whatever lane it might be, you can pitch it our way, and we might want to talk with you, or maybe you have a friend that does something. Maybe you got a buddy that's working on an album, or you have a friend that does portraits, or
I thought you were going to say porno. I was like,
no. Portraits.
It's an art, I guess. Somebody, if you're entertaining,
anyway, you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, porno.
No. if you
an artist, a writer, filmmaker,
if you yourself
anything.
Or you have a friend that is an artist of not the pornographic type,
we're not excluding them.
Okay.
So we're audio show. We're not visual, so we're not showing no stuff.
All right. Anyway, you can hit up Steve Crypto Show if you would like to be on the show, or if you know someone who maybe would like to be on the show. We are just here to promote you and promote your creative friends,
and to have our own outlet.
Yep,
which helps. Some other cool stuff we've done.
I really enjoyed our talk with the guys in Space Camp, Adlib and Oski. They are based out of Pennsylvania,
Philly,
yep,
right?
Philly,
yep.
Philly area, yep. And they kind of have like a hip hop Grateful Dead vibe. If you haven't checked them out yet, but they're all over Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and all that. You can go find them. Very personable guys, very nice to talk to. These are the type of guys that, you do a show with them, which I've done several, and they're out in the crowd watching you, like they're out talking with people and mingling, and they're just really down to earth, like out of everybody that I've done shows with that are, like national touring artists, I got to say that they're some of the nicest ones that I've met, and some of the, easiest to work with, and, not taken away from anyone else, but they're just great guys. And so go check that episode out. We talked with them about their last album, which is called Electric Lemonade. They've released a few singles since then, but that's a great full-length record. They have 2 albums out, but the first one had an additional member, so now it's just down to 2, and You know, both projects are great, but they just kind of changed the vibe up with the new one and went a little bit more psychedelic. So if you're into like the kind of Summer of Love vibe with some hip hop thrown in, this is for you.
Yeah, they were good dudes to chat with. Me personally, not being really familiar with their stuff, talking to them, I was like, these are cool guys. It made me check it, check it out.
Yeah.
Because you think, like, how many times have you like talked to a writer or a comic book artist or a musician, and you didn't know much about them, but they were really cool, so you were like, damn, I want to fucking support this guy. Yeah, it's a good dude, let me support this person. And you check it out and their shit's really cool. Like, dang, nice, cool people, good. That's what we want on this show. That's the kind of stuff we're trying to get going on here.
Yep. Yeah, all their music is great quality. It's produced by Rob the Viking, who is the main producer for Swollen Members. And so it's kind of interesting to even hear a guy like that taking a turn, with the psychedelic hip hop vibe, because he's not known for that either.
Right.
So
it was cool to shows his talent that he can do that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So it's cool. Like, if you're not knowing, you go into the project, you're listening to it, and then you look at the back of the record, like, wow, Rob the Viking did that. Like it's not the usual sound from him. So, right. but it's cool. It worked out. It's a great album, especially just riding in your car, listening to it. That's the best way.
Right.
What's another favorite for you, or another highlight? Not a favorite. Let's quit saying that.
They're all favorites. No, the highlight was
just like South Park. Every one of them was our favorite episode.
I guess I'd say we started out. We're coming up into Halloween now, getting that rolling, and we kind of started setting the tone for this season by having another couple that we developed friendship with was a YouTuber named Jade DeLibra, she's like big on YouTube, man. She's very popular. And her husband Dallas, they created a music project together, since speaking of music, called Shadow Figures, and it's a very like horror synth kind of, it has like a very horror 80s horror soundtrack vibe to it. They've been putting out songs for this project, and I guess they're working on putting out an album and potentially touring soon. But they came on and talked about the music, and Jade talked about her YouTube channel, and she does all kinds of stuff on there, but I think her most popular thing she does is she goes out and hunts for Halloween decor. And you know what I mean? She just goes cruising and she's very down to earth, real vibe. You know what I mean? She's not one of the people that are out there like, I just want to get views and follows and fans. Like, she's like, this is what I do. I might as well bring you along with me.
Yeah.
Which is cool. And I feel, she's obsessed with Halloween decorations and drinks Starbucks all day. Like, bro, that's me. But
that's our people. Yeah. But, she's a perfect like little guide that I use as far as like wanting to know where the good stuff is, before I leave the house or whatever. Like, okay, I don't have all day to go to every store. Let me watch Jade's new video and get a little idea, even though some of the places she goes to are not even around here. But they're not area, but most of them we can actually visit ourselves. So it's nice to watch that. Okay, TJ Maxx has this and this, and then I can go to Home Goods and get a skeleton taking a poop.
And she's putting the content out regularly enough that it's like you see this new item at Ross or somewhere, like there's a chance you can still go find it.
Yeah.
There's other people doing the same thing, but I find her very entertaining, and her and her husband are good people. And honestly, I felt honored that they would come on our podcast, because they never been on a podcast before. We were their first podcast. Like, this person has hundreds of thousands of followers and, like, viewers and subscribers and whatnot. And she came on our little old podcast, and I know it helped us more than it probably helped her. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
the fact she did, man, it's a lot. Like, that means we're doing something right here.
Yeah, and I hope that some of our listeners have checked out her show too. Which,
sure.
like you said, she has a lot of viewers already, but it's great to get some new eyes on what she's doing.
Yeah.
So, hopefully some people listening went and checked out Jay the Libra on YouTube.
And like I mentioned, she's not only doing the Halloween stuff throughout the year. She has like a book club where they like their spooky book club where they talk about books and drink wine and shit. And she posts videos like setting up her decor or just decorating. Like, she has videos of her like cleaning her car, and it's fucking entertaining.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, I find it more entertaining just because she is just like a real person. And when she, like I said, she talks to you like she's talking to you, not just trying to get your attention to get her views up and make money off you. And it's cool, man. And I enjoyed having them on, and they'll be back around, I'm sure. Like I said, that was a highlight that they took their time to come on. Their first appearance on a show like this, they picked us. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah. I got another highlight for you. It's actually fairly recent, but just thinking about other people who were kind enough to take the time to talk to us.
Everybody who's been on has been kind enough to take the time.
Yeah. We thank all of them. But, some of them, when we catch them, they're already wrapped up in some projects. They're really busy at the time. So, it at the time, maybe it means a little bit more that they actually still gave us some of their time while they're wrapped up in whatever they're doing. So a few episodes back, we spoke with Dirk Manning from Source Point Press, and I've been
busy
kind of
dude.
emailing. Yeah, very busy guy. He's got his hands in a few different projects, and I know Buried But Not Dead is coming out soon. He just finished up The Curse of the Green Book, the first issue, and I believe issue 2 is now out for pre-order.
And
they're both
the
out.
Twisted book.
Yes, that's the one that he did with Twisted. And I believe both of them actually are out for pre-order now. So if you were lucky to go to Astronomicon, you picked up an issue early and you got to check it out. And I was lucky enough to get an Astronomicon cover, that version of it from Dirk as well. So I was, happy and fortunate enough to read the comic early in advance. And issue 1 is great, but they're already pumping out issue 2 pre-orders. So
right.
You can go to Source Point Press and look for that one. I believe both issue 1 and 2 have multiple covers. So, he's got his hands in that project. Buried But Not Dead.
Speaking of Buried But Not Dead, I actually have a copy of that coming from him soon. And he may or may not have do a little something else in there that we might hook up some listeners with. We'll see. He mentioned I got a little something else in there for you, so we might have a little something for a listener or two. But carry on. You're going to mention the Tony Schiavone book?
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say he is great friends with Tony Schiavone, who is if you don't know, he was the main commentator for WCW back in the day, and he is now one of the commentators for AEW. And so, his life is wrestling. And so Dirk, being a fan of wrestling as well for a long time, they decided to team up and make a book together. And the book is called Butts in Seats, the Tony Schiavone story. So you can get that one. I believe it's out now. And I mean, there's a list of other projects that he has already released, and probably even a couple things that I'm forgetting that are still, waiting to be released. He's a busy guy. So it was really nice that we got him on to talk with us. And he told us a little bit about Astronomicon, which is a convention put on by Twisted that's, usually run out in Michigan area. And then he actually might have teased some information about another convention coming up in a few months that is somewhat close to where we live. So you'll have
Emerald
to.
City. Yeah, he did mention.
I was gonna say you'd have to go listen to the episode to find out, but okay.
Yeah, it's Emerald City. It's our local major con. But speaking of local cons, we just went to Crypticon, and another cool thing was another friendship we developed because of this show and that con is I was able to connect with Felissa Rose, who played as Angela in Sleepaway Camp. She came on right before to help, to promote Crypticon with us. She came on and chatted, and that was super cool. And it, it's just one of the little things that come with doing what we're doing. It's like little perks that motivate us. But I'm still I love all these cool guests that we get to talk to and cool people that we become friends with. But I still think the most inspiring and gratifying thing is the friendships I'm developing with just listeners.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a few people that I talk to regularly that have become good friends. Like our logo, our show logo was made by our buddy Heck Johnson.
I was just gonna throw his name out.
Heck
Johnson, we love you.
He's basically part of this show as far as I'm concerned, because he's been from before day one. He, like I said, he made our logo. Just we kind of clicked just talking about stuff, and it was making this show. And before he even heard us, he was behind us and made us this logo that is fucking cool, I think. And see people with stickers that we've sent people. We have more, so anybody wants them, hit us up. I've had people posting the stickers stuck around town and stuff. I don't encourage vandalizing anything, but if you're gonna put one of our stickers somewhere, make sure people can see it good.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Heck, he's awesome. Just so many people, man.
Yeah. You were talking about this show kind of opening doors and whatnot. Who knows what the future brings? Who knows what else we're going to have in store for you guys on this show? We appreciate the people that do listen when it's just Steve and I. We appreciate people listening when we have guests on. We just love the support in general. But I'm excited for the future. I'm excited to see what else we can do on the Steve and Crypto show. I know we have some guests that are, in the works that may happen down the road. I'm not going to say too much right now, but I am going to say that one of these guests will have me just howling at the moon with excitement. You can just take that and run with it.
Yep. I think I know where you're going with that. Let's take a quick break here, and we'll get back and wrap things up.
Hey guys, this is Ivana Cadaver, host of Macabre Theater, and you're listening to Steve and Crypto Show. And maybe, just maybe, you guys, Butch and I, aka Eddie Munster, will be joining very, very soon.
Check out these shows available now on Fearflix.
And welcome to another collection of frightfully good films from Fearflix, Gothic Horrors, with me, your host, Malvolia, the Queen of Screams.
Hey, I'm Pamela Such. You know me from all the Wave movies. And here we are. We're going to play Curse of the Swamp Creature 2.
Hello guys, I'm Rachel Waits.
And I'm Elise Costin.
Welcome to Silent Screams.
I'm Pamela Such.
I'm Monica Hayes. Thank you for tuning in to 70s Grind Out on Fearflix.
Hey y'all, I'm Sherry Davis, your host for this wild and untamed collection of horror films from Fearflix. We wrangled up a selection of Texas horrors for this one. Welcome to Lone Star Horrors.
These shows, movies, and much more available now on Fearflix. Download it on your Roku channel store today.
Hey, this is Dr. Gangrene. You're watching the Steve. No, you're not. You're listening to the Steve and Crypto Show right here on whatever network you're on. I don't know what you're on. Don't ask me. I can't see what you're doing, but keep listening and tune in next week for more cool content on the Steve and Crypto Show.
Hey, we're
back.
Yeah. In stereo, sort of. It sounded like a mess, but it's okay. Yeah, we are back. It's been fun talking about the past year. We're both really proud of what we're doing, proud of the show. Anything else you want to add before we thank everybody and wrap it up?
You can't see it, but I'm holding the can in hand. Here's a little cheers to everybody. Here's to another year. Hope that everybody's doing well and doing safe.
Yes, I'm glad you guys all survived this year of the pandemic and the Steve and Crypto Show.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't really talking about the end of the year. I'm just like, here's another year of the Steve and Crypto Show, really. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's been kind of parallel, kind of.
Yep. But yeah,
I mean, we wouldn't have started if the pandemic didn't happen. We were in the middle of the pandemic. We wouldn't have time to sit down and do this and figure out how to do this and be like, oh shit, we could actually do this.
Right.
So let's do this.
Yeah.
So many more times I can say do this. That's it. I got no more. But hey, thank you guys.
Time to wrap up the show. Let's do this.
Thank you guys for the year. Let's do this. Make sure you guys keep listening.
Make sure you keep listening, keep sharing. Let us know what your horror movie lists are for October. Let us know what your favorite episodes are for the last year. You know, favorite highlight moments, your favorite highlights, favorite episodes, whatever. Let us know. Let us know who you want us to talk to on the show.
Let us know if you could think of some new rhymes for upcoming episodes. Yeah, but hey, thank you guys for listening. Visit our Buy Me a Coffee page, buymeacoffee.com/Steve Crypto. Head over to Fright Rags, fright-rags.com. Use the code
10.
Crypto 10. And you'll never forget that code. Like,
why would I?
It's like, let me look my ID. But
yeah.
But that's not his real name, guys. Shh, don't tell nobody. It's like his alter ego. Yeah, I can't tell it's him when he puts on his glasses and you can't tell it's him. It's like Clark
should have cut this tape a long time ago.
Yeah. Pretty much. Thank you guys. We've been the Steve and Crypto Show, and we will talk to you soon.
Thank you for listening. We'll catch you on episode 47. Peace.
47 is going to be hard to rhyme, so you know.
I'm working on it already.
Bye, guys.
See ya.